Some vegetables I'm gonna be using that you might not be familiar with. One of them is the celery root, and this thing looks cray cray. And don't be intimidated by this. We are going to actually roast this whole. This thing tastes like a potato and a celery had a baby. It has a very mild flavor to it. The other vegetable we're gonna do is the fennel. And this thing has probably seen better days. But the fennel has a very licorice flavor. It's very mild. Once you roast it, it gets super sweet. And the last vegetable you might not be too familiar with, it does look like a carrot, but it's actually a parsnip. It's actually sweeter than a carrot. Once roasted, kind of think like more like a sweet potato. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you how we take these vegetables I just talked about, these root vegetables, and turn them into a roasted root vegetable mash. So let's get started. First, you're gonna need parchment paper and a food processor or blender. And I know some of you are gonna have to stretch out first and bend with the knees. Oh, careful. All right, use the glutes, pop it at the top, and whew. Didn't almost make it. I start by preheating my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I like to make a big old batch of this herb infused oil, which makes seasoning my vegetables so much faster. All it is avocado oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder or fresh garlic, and Italian seasoning. First, we're going to tackle the root vegetable mash. Start by adding chicken bone broth or vegetable stock to a bottom of a large oven-proof pot or roasting pan, just enough to cover the bottom to ensure your vegetables don't burn in the oven. We'll start by peeling the parsnips, trimming the ends, and placing them in the pot. I take the fennel, cut off the top, cut it in half, and in the pot it goes. Now with the celery root, you can roast it whole, which will take longer, or you can score it and cut around the end and cut it in half, leaving the skin on. Next, brush the root veggies with the herbed oil, put a lid or foil on your pot, and this goes in the oven for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, the vegetables should be fork tender. If the celery root isn't done yet, that's okay. Cut the celery root in half, place it back in the pot with more liquid for another 20 minutes. Now, let's make this mash. The parsnips, fennel, and celery root all go into a food processor or blender, but first cut out the core of the fennel and peel off the skin of the celery root and give it a rough chop. Add it to the processor along with 2 tablespoons of that herbed oil. Give it a whirl for a minute or two, scraping down the sides, and then drizzle in 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. Now this is gonna give this mash this beautiful creamy consistency that looks like mashed potatoes. To heat this up, I put the mash in a greased oven-proof baking dish. Cover with foil and put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. After 20 minutes, I leave the foil on until I'm ready to serve it, and this makes such a light and delicious alternative to mashed potatoes. I also like to use any leftovers to create a creamy vegetable soup without needing to use cream. It's a soup packed full of veggies with all the comforts you crave from a creamy soup. I'm Elisa Lackman, certified health coach, helping you find easier ways to get more vegetables in your diet. I hope you found this helpful. Leave me a comment below or send me a message on Instagram if you'd like more help moving your health in the right direction. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon.